and the and and the and my stream just ended for no real reason. So I'm gonna post the other one after this one. That's if I can finish watching the other videos without that happening again. So yeah. After this we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7 episodes. 7 episodes. 7 episodes left. So if you don't know what we're doing, we're watching a Permian Legacy. Let's continue with the Wakatalu. Zooming in just in case. A Permian Legacy. Episode 2. Wakatalu. Let's go. I'm hype. Saber-toothed seal. It kind of looks like Phylacus. Kind of does. Probably like a Gorgonopsid. No. What is? Oh my! What is that? Brother, are you? Can you move it there? Oh my! Of course you can move. It's like part of you. I think. I don't know. Oh my gosh. I'm okay with the starry drillfish. I'm okay with the dwarf kraken. I'm okay with the meadow snailfish, the opal kraken, the abyssal snailfish, the reef snailfish, but the knotted drillfish. Are you okay? What pressures? What pressures made you stoop down to the? You have like eyes on stalks. You're very close to looking like an aquatic snail. Anyways,
Ammonites are a common sight in the oceans of Kaimere. While these cephalopods can be found in the inland sea and even brackish water, their greatest diversity in the known world is in the Kaleen Sea.
the
The
Callian
Kaleen Sea has
Sea.
its depths, though much of it shallows over a continental plate that encompasses Picardia, Kadan, and the Kaleen Islands.
No, we gotta find Kadan. We gotta find Kadan. Qajar, Kabaraha, Kalaran, Skadan, Ricarian, East, and the Abyss. We could. Hi. Hello. We cannot find Kadan. Excadon? Is that what he was saying?
With average
Listen,
depths
Frederick.
around a few hundred meters, it is much deeper than the Chakayam and a lot colder, as it is primarily fed from the south instead of the north.
Mm-hmm.
Regular upwells from the abyss flood this vast shallow sea with nutrients, and ammonites are one of the many predators to thrive on this lush ecological foundation.
Mm-hmm. Hi, hello.
Crocodiloids are extinct in Kaimere, at least with
Oh my god, we just gotta start with a bunch of things going extinct. In the last episode, which I will post, don't worry. Basically, for some reason the stream just cut off out of nowhere, and like it sometimes does. The last episode was like the Mogea, which was like a aquatic Dicynodont. Don't worry, I will post that stream after I'm done with this one, hopefully, and hopefully it doesn't crash or whatever. I'm assuming it was a crash. I just got done like watching like my second ad, and it just, hey, your stream's over. Yay, let's see. Here's your statistics. Here's your statistics. Brother, I don't want to see this. Why did you end my stream? How dare
the
you?
waters of the known world. As appears to have occurred on Earth The few that survived numerous extinctions appear to have been hunted to extinction by seals and other pinnipeds.
Hunted to extinction is crazy. I know we've done that to like a lot of species, like the woolly mammoth and the ground sloth and the dodo, technically, if you count eating and hunting as the same. I'm sorry. Of course, you can count hunting and eating as the same thing. Hunting is killing something for food, and eating is eating food. Oh my, whatever.
It is believed that they were vulnerable, while ammonites were not, because
Oh my
nautiloids
gosh.
have
What is this nautiloid slander? When nautiloids met their match. He's right behind me, isn't he? Oh, you bet your shell I am.
fleshy hoods that can be reliably grabbed to extract the animal from its shell.
Oh my gosh. They can be lightly grabbed to inspect the animal in its shell. What do you mean I'm getting inspected like in Ancestors the Humankind Odyssey? Yes, I know that type of ball. Before I get eaten.
A few Kaimere ammonite clades have an analogous hood, but it is derived from distinct anatomy and filled with
Yeah, and some kind of have like the weirdest shell anatomy on planet Earth. Hi, hello. Like, oh, I don't know. Like, actually, never mind. Said hi, hello. Like, I don't know. Some just have some. Actually, the more that I think about it, they just have some very normal anatomy. When they get. Like, there's nothing wrong with this. It looks like the knotted drillfish looks just like the starry drillfish. I thought they were gonna have, like, some differences, but no, it looks the exact same.
so the animal secures itself behind hard doors, so they do not have this vulnerability when within their more fortified shells. Pinnipeds and many other predators may have a hard time getting a meal out of ammonites, but they are not without their specialized killers.
Beluga whale mosasaur. For what is this? Is this like a baby motomasaur? Okay.
The wakatelu is a very successful predator in the known world specialized in their consumption. A long pair of saber teeth, flexible arms, and strong hands ending in spade-shaped claws with suction lips and a powerful tongue affords them a superb kit for opening and evacuating ammonites from their shells. This kit allows them to exploit a food source with very little competition. Yeah.
I feel like eating like a knotted snailfish would be like sipping on like a swirly straw for the wakatelu.
There are snails, fish, sharks, mosasaurs, and squid, all ranging from opportunistic to specialized.
Oh my, these things are. Those are like the same thing as the Wolverine sharks. Oh yeah, there were Wolverine sharks back. Like I said, don't worry. After this, if it doesn't restart on me, I will go, and I will post the past stream, and y'all can see what I'm talking about, okay? Let's calm down. Let's take a deep breath. Let's use our inside voices.
In this abundant food source, but none are as prolific and successful in the task of killing and eating ammonites as the wakatelu.
Look at how he's grabbing that thing too.
But none.
Oh my gosh. I was just grabbing it and just sucking it out. A kiss of death. So we're just ripping off Godzilla now. Just kidding. There is an actual Godzilla in Kaimere. That's like an older video. I'll wait to see if he may update it. If not, we'll just go and react to that one. I don't even think he even talked about the old dog. I don't know. Let's just focus on this video while I'm spoiling everything here.
Are as prolific and successful in the task of killing and eating ammonites as the wakatelu. Different ammonites require different methods.
Oh.
Some can simply be suctioned out with a kiss of death, though these are rare in shallow waters, perhaps because the Wakatilu has already hunted this lineage to localized extinctions.
Oh my god. Dude.
Others will require a claw or two to first be driven between the trapdoors before extraction. The largest they prey upon must either have the saber teeth inserted and twisted to force it open, or
Oh.
struck hard to fracture the epticus door.
Oh. Oh
The
my.
Kali have legends of Wakatelu giving sailors lost at sea a kiss of death that
The man eaters? Oh no. You see, I knew this thing couldn't be trusted. Look how angry it is.
extracts their brain from an eye socket.
Wait, what?
This is a kiss of death that extracts their brain from an eye socket.
Okay.
This is almost certainly just a myth, a
Oh.
tale that sailors tell each other to keep them up and alert, or to landlubbers to instill fear and respect for those who brave the sea. However, one need only observe a Wakatelu evicting an Ammonite before their minds wander to how else this horrifying method might be turned against us. But shrouded in horror and mystery, and for much of their awareness to the Assembly and Great Library, it was assumed that they were a homunculus of some sort. One of the many merfolk creatures.
What do they got a population? No, Kurajaku, this thing, please. Someone hunt that thing to localize extinction.
Created by the first children by having a human embryo grown with Honibox gene instructions from other animals that alter, among other things, how different physical aspects develop.
Oh, ew,
Part of this assumption was driven by how strange they are, and that nothing else like the Wakatelu exists in the known world, but also by their rather human-like anatomy in their forelimbs, from similar musculature and flexibility of the shoulders, all the way to a partially opposable thumb.
Did he evolve from like those weird monkey-looking, monkey-like things from the Permian? I forgot what they're called.
However, the Wakatelu is an entirely natural animal. Their evolutionary journey primarily takes place far beyond the known world in the northern hemisphere, on the Dragon or Permian Islands. This is also a series of islands with a shallow sea between, as a consequence of it being technically a small continental plate that is only broken into so many islands because of the high sea levels. Evolving in a context so similar to the Kalin Sea makes their tremendous success here not terribly surprising.
The Ring.
Again, there are other predators that hunt ammonites, but none do so well with the focus and quantity of the Wakatelu. Coming to a place analogous to their homeland and with little getting in their way was an obvious recipe for success.
What are they descended from, though?
Wakatelu have a poor tolerance of very warm water.
Oh.
It is not known precisely when they crossed south of the otherwise oppressive equatorial waters, though it has been suggested that once the tropic has cooled at the spike in equatorial temperatures that ended the anchor period, and a general great shift in ocean currents could have afforded them, and indeed other aquatic animals, a window of passage. Numerous animals, both from Kairul and smaller land masses in the northern hemisphere, seem to have had a window of mass aquatic migration from north to south, and a climate-driven pulse in unusual currents as the planet recovered is currently a leading theory. While it does seem to have been some southern aquatic fauna that moved to the north, it's not well documented. If that is a result of less sampling in the north, or reflecting the currents more passing in a way that favored north to south, is unknown. Surveys of the northern hemisphere, especially surrounding the Permian Islands, shows that while the Wakatelu may be alone in the known world, it belongs to a much more diverse clade in the northern hemisphere.
This clade
Thalassopiths.
What? Who?
Thalassopithecus and its kin are aborfeltharians, a clade.
Huh? Uh, is that okay? But what is this? What is all this? Who are you? You don't look like Lizo Wikia. I am very confused. Are those like dog dragons? Are those rabbits? I am very lost.
Thalassopithecus stem mammals originating from the Permian Islands. They may have had aquatic adaptations prior to the dynastic extinction, but it was after this catalyst that they radiated from the Permian Islands. Some are snail and clam hunters, other fish hunting generalists, though many share the ammonite specialization of the Wakatelu.
Wakatelu
They
Juniors.
swim in a sagittal or up and down motion. Of the numerous times stem mammals in Kaimere have taken to water, both in this recent radiation after the dynastic extinction and the many now extinct clades, it appears that they do not have a particularly strong inclination for the up and down stroke or side to side, as we see in mammals and reptiles respectively. Thalassopiths swim with a sagittal motion, and marine dragons have a lateral stroke despite being fairly close relatives. A stiffer back as an ancestral condition has been proposed for why this is, but ultimately, their seeming lack of a strong preference is unknown. Most aborfeltharians are venomous to some degree or another.
What?
This stems from a venomous ancestor, likely Euchambersia or a similar Therasophalian, which is generally believed to have had venom glands in their jaws, though it is possible that this is some other gland in this particular taxon, and venom independently evolved in the ancestor of Aborfeltharia.
Who now?
The Palathirs only retain venom in the males, which inject one another.
Wait, no, what?
Taxon and venom independently evolved in the ancestor of Aborfeltharia. The Palathirs only retain...
Who is Palatheria robustus? If they look like what I think they look like, we won't be talking about these guys until the last episode, currently. I'm sorry. Let's just let him explain. Like I said, well, let's go let him talk.
In the males, which inject one another to enhance the delivered pain as they battle for female affection.
Oh my gosh.
Predatory ceratopheres use it to enhance
Horned
blood loss
lion.
after a bite. Venom in the paramacropods is mild or absent depending on the species.
So we got a rabbit. I don't know. And clawed kangaroo.
With predatory saber-toothed jackals or laylap.
What is that? Laylaps? I don't like the way they're standing up. No. Sit back down. It's like how my family. It's like what my family says, Alex. Sit back down, boy.
Using their venom to enhance shock in their prey.
Sit down somewhere.
Most spectacular are the draconiforms, which have developed openings in their canine.
Oh, that is beautiful. Ooh, pretty.
Teeth, which venom can be ejected as a jet or spray depending on the species.
Heck no.
Ancestrally, it is believed this feature evolved as a defense maneuver. Their venom tends to cause an intense reaction that can temporarily blind or otherwise inhibit foes. The Wakatelu and other thalassopiths, however, have entirely lost their venom.
Okay.
They pack in a very nutritious diet, so getting sufficient protein would not have posed much of an issue, but they don't need venom for their prey, and it is an ineffectual deterrent to their predators underwater.
Wait, what predators?
They are fairly intelligent animals who invest a lot in their young, so perhaps the nutritional cost was simply better spent elsewhere.
Huh. Like in fat reserves or something? Interesting. I mean, I guess. Like, I thought, like, they could, like, inject venom into the ammonites and just kind of, like, pull the ammonite out, like, suck it out then. Oh, yeah, we got, like, another ad, so be careful. Then the stream may just end on us. Because that is what happened with the last ad that was shown. So if we get another ad after this like of ads, we may be cooked. We may be cooked. Turkey.
Mammals have very flexible lips as an adaptation for nursing.
And out of all of that, you show a rhino. Where's my goat the tapir? I'm just kidding. I never really thought rhinos had very flexible lips. Okay, they do have very flexible. I know they do, but like, you don't really see that. I thought they kind of like, I don't know. I thought they were just like, too like not didn't really graze, and I didn't really have no chance to use it.
Indeed, all other stem mammals do not produce milk for their young.
Oh.
Many other abolorphaltharians have a degree of lip flexibility and control. Nothing on the level of mammalian control and precision, of course, but it is most extreme in the Wakatelu and its fellow thalassopiths.
Was he looking at this image while narrating? Because it sounded like he was about to laugh.
Many other abolorphaltharians have a degree of lip flexibility and control. Nothing on the level of mammalian control and precision, of course.
I know y'all heard that. Not on the mammalian, of course.
But it is most extreme in the Wakatelu and its fellow thalassopiths, able to form their lips as a seal around an ammonite or other mollusk before extraction. Their teeth can get in the way of large ammonites, but in smaller specimens this seal can still be made. While an excellent benefit, it is thought that this is a secondary adaptation that enabled their specialization in ammonites, not why they developed the more flexible lips.
So do they, like, only eat ammonites? Or is it like an opposite crab eater seal thing? Like, to where they actually eat what they're named after eating. Except, I don't know what Wakatelu means because I'm not a Kaimere.
Do not produce milk, but like most abolorphaltharians, they do regurgitate half-digested food for their young. When feeding, they kiss their young, forming this seal, before feeding so that a regurgitated food is not.
I was so confused. I thought he meant like kiss as in like a human kiss, like mwah. No, they just do like the same thing with their with the ammonites, but to their young, and regurgitate the food while doing that kiss.
Wasted. A kiss of life.
Aww.
This regurgitated food is more processed than what most abolorphaltharians do. It is more of a liquid, which may be why they developed this more secure means of processing and regurgitation as they become increasingly aquatic. The other aquatic therocephalians, the Capricorn and other marine dragons, simply regurgitate more solid food into the water that the young can just gobble up. Thalassopiths may employ a more time-consuming method of feeding their young, but since the food is already pre-digested, it's a lot easier for their little ones to process. They tend to only have one large pup born live that both parents care for during the first 2 years of its life, so their ability to feed their young directly and highly nutritiously, as opposed to the far more R-selected marine dragons, make this reproduction method a lot more successful. It has also, seemingly by happenstance, made them extremely efficient predator of ammonites. Though very strange to the point that their original assumption as a type of demon is not unreasonable, the Wakatelu is instead a reminder of just how different life can become in prolonged isolation from the portal. Over 250 million, or a quarter of a billion, years of independent evolution has made them very distinct from many animals in the known world, which are often much more familiar. From their homeland, they aren't nearly as unprecedented. They may not be terribly dangerous to people, really just a strange and imposing sea creature, but the same cannot be said of the Capricorn,
Oh my gosh.
a reef dragon that seems quite willing to pursue humans as a potential meal.
No, no. No. Shout out to you again, Ian.
Cheers to Ian for
Cheers.
sponsoring
Cheers.
these episodes. In the build-up to the release of my Dragon Rider story, which will take place on the Permian Islands, I'm happy to take some of my episodes exploring animals of the Permian harvested ancestry of the coming months, both in the known world and the islands on which the story will be set. I am having an absolute blast getting back into writing, and I can't wait to share this novella.
Man, he's so cute. Like I feel like this like really needs like a lot more recognition. I say it has 6.7 thousand views. Like I'm having a blast getting back into story writing or whatever he said, because for some reason my brain isn't really braining. What? I have no idea what's for. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Not everyone's good.
Let's keep it moving. All right. Second ad. Will we be gone? Will my stream end? Okay. Is that a bat? Why does it sound like that? Let's go. Ah! It's kind of cute. It's cute. A Permian Legacy episode. Oh my gosh, I'm very bad with like the IV stuff. Okay, episode 4, the Basilisk. Actually, a basilisk is more like a giant snake, like an Ark Survival Ascended.
When the assembly first
The Western Door.
among the most thrilling revelations was the abundance of strange animals.
Just like your casual Ceratops. I'm just kidding. The Avudi. Avudi for real. Kind of looks like a Styracosaurus, Cape Buffalo, Diabloceratops, Porcupine, Horse, no, Hadrosaur.
To us,
Zendar.
Dinosaurs and other relatively familiar fauna similar to beasts recently lost to time.
I will react to his other things. I've only reacted to like what was it? Like, you know, like his documentary series like things. I will react to like the saga of Tanir and Baru, and I will also react to the Battle of Kahai for like the 4th or 5th, maybe 6th time now. I really like that one. I think it's like maybe this is what actually really got me interested into like dinosaurs, or at least speculative evolution or fiction, really.
But to these first assembly explorers, these were the beings and creatures of legend.
Huh.
Unicorns, mermaids,
See?
fairies.
Okay. Slow your roll. These are the least scary looking people I've ever seen in my life.
First assembly
Oh, so can we go back real quick?
These were the beings and creatures of legend. Uni-
See, I told you there were unicorns. Oh my, these unicorns got some Chad chins on them. Okay, yeah, that's just like for showing off. Okay, like, brother, no, no, you are not stabbing anything with that, my boy.
Unicorns, mermaids, fairies, and of course, dragons.
Behold, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. I can't get them. Never mind. All it is like my Allosaurus figure from them. Behold, a dragon. Oh. But in all seriousness, though, I feel like Utan don't look all that much like dragons. I think I could see it. Maybe like a drake, since like the female's kind of like roaring in like a very low stance, and the fact that they're a massive.
Many of the dinosaurs and other enormous reptiles of the known world were called dragons. The enormous Megaraptor and theropods called to mind enormous drakes capable of formidable destruction.
Okay, yeah, I was right.
Mosasaurs evoked the sea serpents and the Leviathan itself, ripping apart vessels they deemed a rival. Some of these dragons, however, were of much more humble dimensions.
Aww.
Among the most fascinating...
I forgot about the Howler Skeletor. Ugh. It looked much different in Battle of Gahai, right? I don't know.
To many in the assembly was not the opposing giants, but a small winged creature found in numerous Kelly Islands and Picardia, the Vanyu.
Vanyu.
These able...
Okay, let's see this little diagram he cooked up. Thumb for grasping branches and prey. Tail fan adds lift. And takedown assists in steering. Long feet aiding quadrupedal hop launch. Projectile venom asphyxiates prey. And most importantly, not to scale. My gosh.
A type of therocephalian, have wings, fur, fangs, strange ears, lay eggs, and spit venom like a cobra. They reminded many in the assembly of the cockatrice or basilisk, a horrid child of serpent.
The basilisk was called the cockatrice? I didn't know that. I thought the basilisk was its own thing. I guess that what happens when you only play Ark and don't actually dig into mythology. Ark is not the bright. Bravo, why is there why are there mythical creatures in your simulation? I don't think humanity was supposed to survive against giant snakes. Say we're like, no, whatever. Move on. Don't get off topic.
Noted they were quite similar to wyverns and other dragons in heraldry. We tend to think of dragons today as giant.
What is that? What is that? Oh, it's dragon.
Giant fire-breathing reptiles, but for a lot of older dragon depictions,
oh my,
the assembly would be more familiar with in the 1700s had fur, ears, and venom that was spat as often as fire.
Venom? Huh?
Sometimes even poison fire has been the best of both worlds in some depictions.
Poison fire.
The venom
right.
is often described as being aimed at the eyes of people who harass them, so the blindness of a basilisk.
How dare you harass me?
Seems to have won over this comparison in their scientific name, But many contemporary texts also call this animal a dragon or wyvern.
Hmm?
It didn't take long for the Great Library to inform the assembly naturalists that while Vanyu is certainly noteworthy and formidable, on an enormous archipelago to the north, there are old Isatueti
Yeah, those are T-Rex.
hordes
Oh.
of wyverns.
Yeah, those are some real wyverns right there. Big dog Dracotherium. Halifel.
So large that there was once a civilization of dragon riders. These stories drove some of the first assembly expeditions beyond the world almost a century later. However, the Vanyu has still taught the assembly much of what they need to understand about the fundamentals of dragon biology. Vanyu have warm-blooded or ectothermic metabolisms. They need a lot of food and dense integument to maintain their high body temperature. Though not mammals, their integument is often thought to be hair or an analogous filament. They grow with branches superficially resembling feathers, fraying as soon as the living tissue within the fur.
Okay, that's fur. That's fur. That's not no feathers, bro. That's fur. That is one fluffy dragon. Man, that would be so cool. Dragons just being like giant pterosaurs. I feel like a lot of. Imagine how big the keeled vertebrae of a Quetzal of like something like Quetzalcoatlus would be, or Hatzegopteryx. Would they be able to evolve a keel? I think that's only in birds, right?
Is ejected. They are sometimes called terra or reverse feathers because the barbs of porcupine quills being similar in structure, the branches grow down from a cap as they grow from follicles and therefore look like a reversed feather when completing development. Unlike continuously grown hair, these reverse feathers grow fast to completion, then fall out as a new terrampalin grows in. Especially on Picardia and islands where it regularly rains, they must keep this coat well oiled. The venom of dragons has an acidic, corrosive element that is countered by the basic oil produced by glands along the lower jaw behind the ear. This is the oil that not only keeps their terrampalin waterproof, it also protects them from friendly fire. Though they were originally assumed to be mammals, the eggs they lay and lack of milk produced were early signs that they belonged to a more distant stem mammal lineage. Female Vanyu tend to live in loose, small groups of related animals, usually 2 to 5, and males are solitary. The females tend to nest and roost near one another. A male will typically mate with a whole group, seeing off rivals. The males will start by showing off with acrobatic flight maneuvers, songs, and occasionally a spray of venom. If this is insufficient, he will try to headbutt them with short brow horns from a launch, and escalate to actually biting and mauling them only in times of desperation.
You mean the males, right? Like, whoa.
After mating, females will lay a clutch of around half a dozen to a dozen eggs, which hatch after roughly 10 days of incubation. The male will provide his mates with occasional meals during incubation, and a few meals to the pups after they hatch, but shortly after, the male will shed his horn caps and go off on his own to replenish the expenses of the season. Females care for their young for the first few months, but kick them out of the nest by 4 months of age, so the female can also feast and regain her own strength and caloric surplus for the next season. From there, the siblings and cousins tend to form sex-segregated groups. These form the basis of groups in females as adults, and males disperse by maturity. Young reach adult size and maturity by the end of their first year, but females usually don't have a large and healthy enough clutch until their second year, and males are rarely strong contenders for mates until they're 3 or 4. Basilisk rarely live past their first decade.
Oh. You would have to be like that?
Vanyu, like most other members of the family Draconidae, are volant. Their wings are similar to pterosaur or bat wings, and they are composed of skin stretched between fingers and the body. In their case, a fourth finger serves as the leading edge of the wing, while the
Okay, yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, for like bat wings and stuff like that. You see how like those little like finger looking things? Are those actual fingers, or is that just like bone extended? He may tell us. See.
fifth digit of two carpal bone struts support the structure. The skin, or patagia, attach along the body down to the knee. The leading edge of the arm also has a small patagia to help streamline the wing from the front. Their first three digits of the hand are independent of the wing, with the first digit forming an opposable thumb. These three digits together are used to climb. Like a pterosaur, they launch from a quadrupedal stance, though their leap is initially powered by the wings launching from the outside pads of the second figure, then long rabbit-like feet give them the final push so the wings can ready the first stroke of flight, as opposed to pterosaur wings that do all steps in takeoff. Mammals breathe using a diaphragm, an abdominal muscle derived from neck muscles that flexes to draw in air and releases to exhale. While there is some debate when this feature evolved, it seems it was most confidently developed by the ancestors of mammals by the Triassic. Some Gorgonopsians and Therocephalians have been proposed to have a diaphragm of the same or an independent origin, but this is known.
I'm sorry, y'all. There's like a gnat around here.
In Amorpheltherians, their breathing is done through a diaphragm, though theirs is derived from much deeper in the abdomen, anchored in the pelvis and posterior ribs to draw viscera back and pull air into the lungs. That their diaphragm is not derived from the neck muscles, as has
Man, those things got some long necks. Kind of reminds me of Caraxes from House of the Dragon.
been suggested to be why their number of neck vertebrae are not as fixed at 7 as they are in most mammals. Indeed, the neck muscles of Vanyu and other draconids actually incorporates a number of thoracic verts as their torsos compacted for flight, further adding to the potential neck length and flexibility best demonstrated in the secondarily flightless dragons of the genus Ophicinus.
What is? Oh my! Ooh, what is that? Okay. All right. I also just decided, since we just watched we didn't watch the Capricorn episode. Oh my gosh, we didn't watch the Capricorn episode. Oh no, that's why we're off. I thought we already watched this one. What happened? Okay, my bad, y'all. Okay, so I decided that since I thought we watched 4 episodes, we can watch the rest of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 episodes. But now we're gonna have to go back and watch the Capricorn episode, and then we can be on track. So after this one finishes, we're gonna watch the Capricorn episode, and then we're gonna do the others later, maybe tomorrow. So yeah. I didn't even notice.
Can draw air while static, though this really comes into its own when the animal is in motion. The satyrs can hop at a steady pace, with each stride aiding to draw in fresh oxygen. In the flying dragons, it means the faster and harder they fly, the more efficient their lungs become, as the upstroke of the wing aims at drawing more air. It is not as efficient and enduring as the air-sac lung system of many dinosaurs and pterosaurs, but it can provide exceptional power. It is believed this is why the Vanyu can often fly faster and more athletically than many other volant animals in its environment, but they cannot fly as long as most birds. The venom of the Vanyu is sprayed from glands on either side of the upper jaw. The outlet is through a tube that ejects out halfway down the fang. Adult teeth generally place around once every year, though fangs often replace as many as 6 times a year. The venom ducts connect both to the current fang and its growing replacement that sprouts alongside it, so they can continue hunting and spraying even while in possession of 4 fangs for a day or 2 during this replacement process.
I guess he's comparing this to like the Vanyu.
The fangs are the venom delivery apparatus, but also used in killing prey weakened by this spray.
Just facts.
Their fangs are long enough that they extend beyond the lip line as saber teeth, though the duct itself is usually covered. Exposure to elements is thought to drive this fairly rapid fang replacement, though abuse from both spraying and the final kill may also contribute. The muscles that raise their lips to expose the full fangs also press against the venom gland in conjunction with jaw muscles opening the mouth, also pressing into the glands when it is repositioned by this snarling flare, so they can only spray when the mouth is open and lips drawn up. Handlers can often use this to prevent spraying with a muzzle. They don't have it.
What you mean, handlers?
Anywhere near the lip control of mammals. Indeed, it is only drawn up when preparing to spray or bite. Basilisk venom has mild corrosive properties that act as a sort of pre-digestion.
What?
This impacts pretty much any organic material that it comes in contact with.
Acid? Stomach acid?
Killing and feeding might obstruct the opening. A brief spray is often all that they need to clear by corrosion any material that clutters the venom ducts. However, the venom's most potent function is in triggering an allergic reaction in synapsids. It is not known why birds and other reptiles don't seem as impacted by this spray. The corrosive elements still harm them, and hawks have been reported to be blinded by basilisk spray, but it is undeniable that mammals are far more reactive to the venom. This spray is very precise, often being aimed at the eyes and mouth of offending attackers. It can lead to blindness, rash, and asphyxiation. Some people don't react as strongly, but in many reported instances, these who are sprayed are blinded and sort of breathe for several hours to days, and deaths can also be recorded in cases of extreme sensitivity.
We will need Nantucket moment with us. Okay, you got me.
Man, I'm tired. Okay, that was like a random word drop. Oh, guys, I'm so tired. I don't think I can do this. Weirdo. Don't be weird, Frederick. Remember, don't be weird. Next. And skip.
The venom in Amorphaltharians is thought to have evolved in predators as an aid in killing, with the same properties weakening those, of course, regularly hunted animals, developing resistance over time. The draconiforms that spray are believed to have developed this adaptation as a form of self-defense. When their former predators perished during the dynastic extinction, as draconiforms became dominant predators themselves, the predatory applications of this venom once more became its primary use. Vanyu spray to defend themselves, but most often use it for hunting. When a prey item is located, the Vanyu flies by and sprays venom at the target. They favor prey, like rodents and multivirulents.
Okay, that's wrong. Okay, that's wrong. Bro, you don't have to spit venom at that. Just snatch it up and eat it, bro.
After a kill.
Wait, what? Monkey Club.
They aim for the face. Ideally, this makes them disoriented and weak, making a kill quick and easy as they circle back.
Okay, bro, it would be quick and easy anyway.
A foolproof method. If they miss or the prey dodges, they
7-foot frame. Routes along his back. Okay, I'll stop. That was like a year ago. or like a
The
year
glands
ago.
of a healthy adult contain enough venom for 3 to 5 sprays, and it can take between a day and a week to replenish their glands depending on health and diet. And the
Dang.
glands generally only have a few sprays before depletion, so naturally a few misses can leave them on empty. Ideally, they balance spray with consumption, but if they must spray in defense, even a healthy adult must often hunt without the use of their venom. Indeed, hunting is sometimes done without venom even if the glands are full, as this is worth more to have this expensive reserve for self-defense in more dangerous environments.
Oh.
The rivalry between Vanu and mustelids that target the same small mammal prey was relayed to the assembly, and it contributed to them being called basilisks, which are said to, in European folklore, to fear the weasel and even perish by its scent alone.
Oh my, basilisks are weak there. Oh my gosh. Baba, you just gonna let him bite your neck?
However, the rivalry between weasels and chimeric basilisks is not nearly so one-sided. Vanu venom can quickly and reliably take a marten out of the fight. However, experienced martens of Picardia are documented to provoke a spray, dodge, then strike before the next spray can come.
Oh, they on some mongoose timing. Also, hello Wolverine. Hello Anhydroidon. That's not an Anhydroidon, but it looks like an otter. Otters are pretty cool, man.
Domesticated weasels in Picardian home are at least said to
Aww, that's so cute. Look at the little weasel baby.
deter the Vanu from
That's probably a
nesting
grown
too
man.
close to a settlement. Weasels and martens also seek out and destroy basilisk eggs and nests in trees when they are in roost. It is said by the peoples of the Free States that there were once many basilisks on their islands, but a dedicated hunting effort, funded by the Osatran nobles using domesticated mustelids, resulted in their extermination. Vanu from other islands have since established other populations here and there, but it must be said that these are rare and often hunted with extreme prejudice when discovered.
Why?
Conversely, while they are not usually wanted too close to settlements, there have been a few Picardian Tenkaleen who have tamed and trained them for companionship and hunting.
Huh.
There are many witches in both modern and legendary folklore who bond with the basilisk as a familiar.
No way they just freaking launch them at you like that.
Vanus are strong enough flyers to island hop and fly fast and acrobatically in short, powerful bursts, but they cannot sustain flight for long. They also are very reliant on forests. Though they have been sighted on mainland Rebel in southern Nikar, they don't seem to have many populations there becoming stable. The Vanu may be a formidable opponent, but their very high caloric demands are extremely inefficient, which is likely why they have failed to establish dominion over niches and more competitive ecosystems. There are numerous Kaleen islands where Vanu are found and no mustelids are native, suggesting that in some contexts they can outcompete mammal predators and birds of prey, but on larger territories, it appears they generally are not as ecologically dominant as their suite of formidable adaptations might otherwise suggest. It doesn't help that on the Kaleen Sea, wind tends to blow southwest, so recolonizing the mainland from islands, flying from the offshore winds is often impractical, even if these very winds bring them the scent of mainland prey and opportunity. They do best on islands where they can push out a small population of competitors and enjoy a bounty of small, R-selected prey that essentially reproduce to capacity, so will replenish no matter how many rodents and multi-tuberculates the little dragons kill. They are found in Picardia, Calren, and a few places on the mainland, but their greatest success is undoubtedly on small Kaleen islands.
Is that it? Oh. I'm sorry, I want to get to the Capricorn episode since I just skipped all of it. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm lucky. Because tomorrow, or whenever I get around to it, we have some 20-minute We have some 20 minuters. The satire, the manticore, the bast, and the gorgons. Isn't Medusa like a gorgon? I think she is. She just has like the lower body of a snake for some reason.
How and when they reached the known world is unknown. They are entirely absent in any fossil records, though a preference for conifer forests with acidic soils may not be terribly surprising. Another possible volant coniform has been identified from a formation in Crescent toward the end of the Warren Clades period, as forests were giving way to more arid grasslands.
When did Ignargnathids look like? Whatever. We got the Tabajarid, you say. Kind of looks like the Titan Crow. Not gonna lie. And no, it doesn't. Its crest is way too backwards facing. Okay, these are some big fellas. Oh my gosh. Why is the Nyctosaurine so big? I thought they were tiny. I mean, Tapajars were pretty tiny too, but whatever. The Neuronaphids were definitely
But
tiny.
it is a partial skeleton and could be misidentified. Whatever it was, it does not seem to have had any descendants past the single data point.
Dang.
For the volume itself, floating to the known vegetation during currents that seem to have been unusually active around 1.5 million years ago has been suggested and is the leading theory, but it is not one with any confident evidence, so it's really more of a compelling theory that is the most plausible of the speculations so far presented. As previously mentioned, they are powerful and agile flyers able to quickly outpace prey and evade predators, but they cannot sustain flight for long, so flying from their homeland is not a reasonable theory.
Huh.
It could also be that they were brought to the known world in the past few thousand years through an exotic pet trade, as both the Great Library and Osaka Empire had.
Man, I'm so sorry, but like, I've just seen this as like, the people here were kind of like primitive. Not too primitive, of course. Not like caveman, but like, still kind of civilized. Like, it's in between caveman and like medieval. So like all this pet trade stuff being mentioned, it's kind of new. This is kind of new. I also want to say, like, okay. I didn't know the basilisks actually were actually known as cockatrice. No, yeah, basilisks were actually wyverns originally. No. I guess where Ark got its design from was like, I think sometimes, or if not all the time, basilisks or cockatrices have like the body of a chicken, the wings of a wyvern and or dragon or whatever, and the tail of a snake. So they just remove the whole body of the cockatrice and just expand on the snake bit. And for some reason, they didn't make it to where it would where you have like taming would have something to do with its like stare where it turns you to stone. Aren't cockatrices known for doing that?
Exploratory voyages beyond the known world now and then, but their long place in known world folklore and the fact that Picardian claimed them as an indigenous animal is a mark against such a recent arrival. Also, the venues spanning between the westernmost Khalid Islands, Picardia, and the rainforests of southeastern Dakar are distinct enough that numerous species have been proposed, providing further evidence against a very recent arrival. Though alone in the known world, the Vanyu have numerous relatives in the northern hemisphere. Most are restricted to the Permian Islands, though a few of their genus have been found on the continent, northern Kyrule, and a few islands a bit more distant. This supports the idea that a fairly recent radiation occurred.
I don't
The
know how to
drop in
zoom it
temperature
in,
about
but
5 million years ago
I want
could have
y'all to
allowed
see the
easier
words.
passage in some places and also resulted in a boom in coastal forests that could have become mats of floating vegetation that carried them far and wide as the sea levels returned. Whatever the reason, the fact that all of these little basilisks seem to be closely related supports the theory of a fairly recent dispersal. The Permian Islands themselves have many basilisk species in the same genus, along with a few other genera of tiny wyverns. There is also the common wyvern, a fairly abundant social predator, and of course the large dragons, which were domesticated and bred for a great size and likely magical influence prior to the collapse of this civilization, and now a feral population of these giant predators are the apex predators of the islands.
Huh.
Though the Assembly knows very little of these iconic dragons directly, having only a few interactions, in which the most famous of which ended in disaster, thanks to value basilisks of the known world, a lot of inferences on these dragons can still be made.
Huh. Interesting. So they were really just like the blueprint for the modern dragons. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so tired. Again, cheers to Ian. I'm gonna end it off. I'm sorry. We'll get to that tomorrow. I'm very tired for some reason. Been a long time. Yes, it has. Yes, it has. I'm sorry, man. I hadn't even see you. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna keep it pushing. I'm gonna keep it pushing. We got it's just one more episode. It's not like I'm gonna. It's not gonna harm me too bad. Okay. We got one more. Cheers to Ian. Cheers to Keenan Taylor. Let's move on to the last episode of today. I don't know how I skipped this one. Because then I was on the Wakatelu episode. So I went on to. I must, like, Nat must have buzzed around. I must have swatted and flicked to an extra. I don't know. Let's just be. Is that ISO? That is ISO speed. Whatever. Um. Let's get this over with. Let's get this over with. I already like this one, huh? I don't remember saying this one, but okay. Let's get it. Capricorn. Kind of looks like the head of a tyrannosaur. It also kind of reminds me of Vesta Menasukis. A Permian Legacy. Episode 3. The Capricorn. Watch the Capricorn be like the most simplest, basic thing ever.
Goldfish.
Goldfish. Oh my gosh. So the Capricorn is just a hippocampus, but the horse half was swapped with a goat.
Or sea goats are esoteric legendary
gosh.
creatures. Though not one that has established itself as a modern fantasy staple like unicorns, griffins, and dragons have, they were quite popular in antiquity, back during their origins in Babylon, in ancient Greece, where they became incorporated as the constellation Capricornus, and eventually one of the iconic zodiac astrological signs, and in medieval art ranging from bestiaries to sea monsters filling out spaces on maps and charts. We might not think of these as a legendary icon, but to the early members of the Assembly who came to Kaimere and encountered many animals and homunculi that bore striking resemblance to monsters of myth, they were quite well known. A creature called the Huskata by the Kentori captured the attention of the first Assembly researchers. Reef dragon is a much more common name for them and their northern cousins nowadays. This is both in light of them being identified as a sister clade to the dragons of the Permian Islands, and a much more striking similarity to the long dragons of East Asia, which is why they are also called long or coiled dragons, and their scientific name is Plectodraconidae. A connection to the worms of Germanic folklore was also made in early assembly texts. However, to the primarily European and classical antiquity-oriented academics performing these initial translations and scientific descriptions in the 1700s, the illustrations and accounts given to them much more closely reminded these researchers of the Capricorn than dragons of Europe or Asia, so this is the name that was used in their initial description and remains in use for many circles. Capricorns are the only one of their kind in the known world. Fossils and...
Okay, what is with everyone being the last of their kind? Oh, there's nothing that looks like the Wakatelu in the known world. Oh, this venue is the only one of its kind. Brother, this is sad. Stop.
Near the Great Library suggest at least one other species initially joined them around 1 million years ago, and there's also a potential set of much earlier remains on Rooster Crest itself, but today it is the last of its kind. They possess poor cold tolerance and only even venture into the northernmost corners of the known world proper, and some spending the summers off the shores of the Kentarine Islands. Most of the population, however, occupies the inland sea and gulfs of its northern range. They have occasionally been spotted all along Arvel's northern coast, but they also appear to be seasonal migrants when most of the remaining population stays in the northern half of the Trachayam Seaway.
I wonder what will become of their limbs. Will they become like flippers, or will they just like remain like that? Assuming that they may evolve into something else, or this is like their most derived. I mean, if the last of this kind, you better be the most derived, am I right?
Capricorns and their Plectodraconidae kin are in the draconiform Amorphelitherian Therocephalians. Their ancestors were long-bodied arboreal predators that took to rivers and coastal waters after the dynastic extinction 15 million years ago, and not long thereafter, fully took to the sea.
That was something.
Unlike the related Wakatili, Capricorns and other Plectodraconids all still lay eggs. Because of this, females are a lot smaller and must dig and guard nests on land. This dimorphism is even more exaggerated in their larger cousins in the northern hemisphere, where females must still nest on land, while males are free to as large as they like, being entirely aquatic animals.
Interesting.
Incubation of Capricorn eggs lasts around a month. Females tend to live in groups of 10 to 30 related animals, while males are solitary or live in small bachelor groups. Capricorns swim with a lateral or side-to-side stroke instead of the sagittal or up-and-down stroke of most marine mammals, and indeed their related Wakatelu and kin. Many reasons have been suggested for this, but the continued employment of their caudofemoralis musculature is likely still a factor. Though their legs don't play much of a strong direct role in swimming outside of perhaps aiding in stability and a bit of a toes, kick their legs in an alternating stride as they swim.
Okay.
As the leg kicks back, it flexes the muscle linking tail to femur. Biflexation pulls the tail toward the backstroked leg. When it is time to swim fast, they instead take on a more conventional serpentine stroke and tuck the legs in, but this continued use of the legs while cruising has been proposed to be why they took to a lateral stroke when first getting into the water over the sagittal stroke of the Wakatelu. This stroke and continued use of their legs may also be tied to how they have not yet developed live birth, when many other egg-laying tetrapods in the stage of aquatic adaptation have. Unlike archosaurs, which seem to have a greater adaptive hurdle to overcoming, preventing live birth even in situations like marine life when they would have a lot of advantages, Capricorn and their fellow marine dragons appear to face no such. After all, Wakatelu and Mogao both give live birth. Locomotion may not be the only thing holding them back, but the correlation in how these two related and analogous animals swim and which reproductive method to employ has been noted by researchers. Capricorn are generalist predators. For the most part, they ambush fish around reefs, but they will readily take on crustaceans.
No, I said they were eating humans. Let's see this human predation.
Scorpions, and both reptiles and mammals in their environment.
Mammals.
Generally, they prefer prey small enough to be solid whole, though they
right.
to tackle walruses, sloths, and other mammals up to twice their size.
Right.
They are themselves prey to numerous sharks and marine reptiles.
But for you a dragon and you getting clapped by a shark? Oh, no. Nah.
On land,
it's the goat, the alar. Oh my gosh. One of my favorite Megaraptorans in the series. I think the one I'm used to is the Ceritic alar. But like this one's cool too. Oh yeah, we got polar bear and lizard and crocodile.
Giant lizard, alar, and very large saltwater crocodiles pose a threat.
Yeah, I knew that I was coming. So I don't really don't have much to say. I'm just watching it just like the 0 people watching this. Like this is interesting. It's interesting. But I feel like you don't have to always be all because you're someone's close relative. You're like your family. Your clade is like a close relative to something else's. That doesn't mean you have to have like the same or similar adaptations that they have. You could have something completely unique, like how Tarbosaurus is like a sister species to Tyrannosaurus Rex, and it's not as robust as like a T-Rex, you know? It was more adapted on things sauropods, apparently. But let's continue. Because I'm so tired, I want to get this over with.
Possess venom. Like other draconiforms, on land, only the Moduru giant lizard, alar, and very large saltwater crocodiles pose a threat. Like most amorphelarians, Capricorns possess venom.
Oh no.
Like other draconiforms, this venom can be ejected from their caniform teeth through tubes that open halfway. Their ancestors used this venom as spray or jets to deter predators. Some of their cousins, like the nominative draconids themselves, inject venom at prey as a weakening prelude to attack as they fly past. Capricorns and other aquatic dragons have no reliable means of envenomating underwater, so they don't have much use for this in their regular hunting context.
They use it for display.
They deter some predators and weaken potential prey on land, but their venom is not especially strong and is mostly reactive to therapsids, so it doesn't much help against the theropods, giant lizards, and crocodiles that pose the most frequent threats.
What about the bear?
Juveniles can use it to good effect against their more numerous mammal predators, but it's not especially potent.
Oh.
Their venom, instead of serving much of a defensive or offensive purpose, is more spectacularly used in their elaborate mating displays. Most amorphelarians have exceptional color vision, and many can even see into the ultraviolet spectrum. The Wakatelu has lost this trait like most marine animals.
I wonder why. Maybe because they're literally gray as I don't know what.
But the Capricorn and their kin retain color vision for mating displays. Even a few meters underwater can greatly mute color, so the bright hues on their faces don't seem to give them away. As they mate and display at the surface or on land, having these bright colors is worth the investment. Like many mosasaurs in Kaimere, this means they can afford to be flashy while still having muted colors underwater. Though their faces are bright and especially colorful in males during the mating season, the venom spray is where they truly shine. Males can eject venom several meters in the air if in good health. A diverse diet is crucial to them developing a full range of pigmentation. A healthy Billy in his prime can spray numerous different colors and seems to have a degree of control over which colors eject when. The glands on either side of his snout swell numerous times over the prelude of the mating season, so he can spray long and often.
Oh, Billy and Nanny, because goats. I just realized that. I'm really tired.
To impress numerous mates. A healthy male can often be the primary mate of at least one pod of a few dozen nannies, and sometimes he will be the mate for a time and still have the reserves to mate with another group.
I'm just gonna take that.
If he's not able to build up reserves for
face value
spectacular display, it is unlikely he will pass on his genes to the next generation.
No nannies? Question mark.
Males, unsurprisingly, given this strategy, do not participate in child care. Unlike the very dedicated parentage of Wakatelu, Capricorn nannies lay between 5 and a dozen eggs each mating season.
Don't you dare.
And in late summer, after males and females have
Don't you dare.
up from early summer upwells, she will feed them regurgitated seeds
Don't you
for
dare.
a little while and guard her clutch
Don't you
for
dare.
months. But by their third or fourth
Don't
month
you
of
dare.
age, at the beginning of winter,
Don't you dare.
they're on their own.
At the beginning of winter, too? Ah, nah, that's messed up. That's messed up.
Winter in the northern Takayam is a pleasant post-storm time of year, and a perfect time for little dragons to kickstart their independent lives.
Yeah, still in winter. Don't y'all hate cold water?
A Capricorn will reach adulthood by their second year, assuming they eat well and survive. So it's usually not until females are 3 and males are...
Yeah, okay, I guess you can survive, little Timmy, as long as you eat food and don't die.
6, that they are respectively large and healthy enough to reproduce. Capricorn are not well known to most peoples of Kaimere. Only the Kaimere regularly encounter them, and only when the Capricorn travel north over the summer to partake in the bounties carried through the channels by marine upwells. There's occasional confrontation between Kaimere fishermen and these dragons, but for the most part, the southern islands get so many fish shunted inland and trapped in the area by currents that there's more fish than anyone could possibly want on their own, so little need to fight. There are accounts of injured and old Capricorn becoming very successful and dangerous man-eaters, but these are rare. Capricorn venom can be mildly dangerous to people, although only a few are so allergic that it's lethal, and dragons will generally much rather...
I'm sorry, Keenan, but bro, you literally said... Okay, well, the Wakatelu is mostly harmless. Focus. The next creature in this in the series, the Capricorn, may not be so harmless. Right.
Store their venom for mating displays later in the summer, so usually everyone gets along, getting fat and happy together.
Getting fat and happy together. Never had in common. Oh, that's it.
Cheers.
We did it. The first 4 episodes. Oh, won't he do it? Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 episodes after this. I have been Frederick the Pyroraptor. I'll see y'all in the next one.